Hi, everyone. My name is Nick Mace. I'm the managing partner for BlueDot Cares, and we are a senior placement company. My team and I cover all of Northeast Ohio, and we help families when their loved one needs to transition, usually from a hospital or a skilled nursing facility into an independent living, assisted living, or memory care community. There's usually a lot of details to consider when we're making this move, including obviously location, but also care needs, what are their interests, the amenities that the community offers, or the activities that they have that might be a good fit. And then obviously budget is always a concern when we're helping the families that we're helping. So at Blue Dot Cares, we love to partner with case managers and social workers in hospitals and skilled nursing facilities. We obviously know that you have a lot on your plate, and we want to help you. We found that the earlier you can bring us into conversations with families, usually the less stressful it is for them. When they're getting this news, it's tough for them to handle, and it's usually a little bit stressful. So most people don't even know the difference between what most people call quote unquote nursing homes and what an assisted living community is. I can assure you they're much different from each other. Assisted living communities are usually more active and trying to get people involved. Um, and they're much different. They're not a clinical feel like most people think. Um, we're a partner of CarePort, so we're happy to assist you when you have a family in need, and if you want to send over a referral in CarePort, that's certainly very easy for us to handle as well. So I put this little instruction sheet together. We've heard from some case managers that they've had trouble finding us in CarePort, so I will email you a copy of this as well. How are we different? This is a question we get asked a lot, so I thought I'd tell you a little bit about how we handle our interactions with families and what you can expect from us. We offer a very personalized service. We meet families in person at the home or in the hospital or the skilled facility where they're located. We're going to listen to what their needs are, maybe what mom's wants are as well. What does she like to do? And then we try to pair mom with a community that's going to be a good fit for her. We're going to call those communities to find out what's available. We're obviously not going to recommend a place that has no availability or a 6-month wait list if mom needs to move in the next couple of weeks. Once we've done the research on our end, we recommend 2, maybe 3 communities to the family so they don't feel overwhelmed. Once the family decides if they think it might be a good fit, we then call the community partners, schedule a tour of the convenience to the family. We go on the tour with the family as well. We want to be hand in hand with them to make sure that we're answering any questions that they have. Like I said, it's an overwhelming experience, so we want to make sure that we're fielding any questions that they have. Our database is really cutting edge. It's called Senior Place. We literally have partnerships with over 200 Northeast Ohio communities. So, as you might imagine, the process can be a bit overwhelming for families when they're, new to this. It's not easy to navigate. The next few slides that I put together here are examples of communities that we have from our database, just so you can kind of see what it looks like. In this first sample here, you'll see that the community type, they offer assisted living. So this particular place maybe doesn't offer independent living or memory care. Their floor plans offer 1 bedroom only. There's a lot of other details that we put for all of these communities. Do they have a pool? Do they have a courtyard? Do they offer transportation? The total amount of beds that they have. Do they offer any financial assistance? Meaning, if mom needs to spend down and roll over to Medicaid waiver, is that possible? And if so, how long is that spend down period? Do they offer direct Medicaid, or does mom have to pay privately for at least 2 years? Do they allow pets because mom doesn't want to be apart from her dog or a cat? Is it a large community, or is it kind of more of a tight knit, smaller community? With this particular one, this has 80 total beds. Would they be more comfortable in a place that only has 12 beds? Um, Mom loves church and she's religious. Is it a faith-based community, and do they offer mass? Will they offer transportation to mom's doctor's appointments? And then, of course, the financial concerns. So, how much is the community or entrance fee? And then how much is the monthly charge? So a lot of times you'll have places that they have a cost for the rent, depending on the floor plan, and then there's additional charges for the care. So every place does it a little bit differently. Some of them have a la carte point systems, and some of them have levels of care. And we can kind of discuss that with the families, the different ways that they charge. We live in an age where information is obviously very easily accessible. With our phones, tablets, computers, you name it, Google's helpful in a lot of ways, I will say that. But when you're Googling senior living or assisted living with any certain city attached to it, usually the first few things that pop up are going to be digital companies that look like they're designed to help. But we know from personal experience and working with a ton of families over the years that have used these digital companies that they're not very helpful. They listen very briefly to the family situation and usually don't gather enough details. Once these digital companies hear the details of the family, they immediately then send the family's information to sometimes as many as 15 different communities. Then the family member can expect to get calls, emails from all 15 of them. Can you imagine what that's like when you're dealing with your mom in the hospital and how stressful that can be? With us, we don't share any information except for mom's name and her care needs and whether they would be a good fit for that particular community. Once we've narrowed our search down to maybe 2 or 3 options, we then go back and share that with the family, usually in person with printed out sheets, or we have the email graphic like in the samples that I just showed you that we can share with the family depending on their level of tech savviness. Um, and then we call them to discuss it. So we've obviously, of course, been to all the communities that we're potentially recommending, and we're a trusted provider in the community. So we definitely have a good pulse on what might be a good fit for every person's different situation. And lastly, I just wanted to let you know that BlueDot Cares is not a franchise. We're not confined to any specific territory per se. We can really help any family anywhere that has a need. So we're happy to help you in any way. We're locally owned and operated, and we would obviously love to work with you ongoing. Please don't hesitate to reach out with any questions that you have. You can call me, text me, email me anytime. I'm happy to help. Thank you so much for following along today. I appreciate it.